Okay, we're gonna try this again. I just recorded 15 fucking minutes of properly, well, fucking. And my fucking mic isn't even down. Brilliant. So, it's your man Peter here, and tonight I want to talk to you about people. I just saw a video from a fan of Blood on the Dance Floor. It's pretty much the same shit that you'd expect from a typical Blood on the Dance Floor fan. Davy and Jay saved my life. This music's so great. Nobody else deserves to have an opinion about music other than me. I'm going to kind of break this down a little and tell you why I call bullshit on this girl. It seems to me that every fan of a band like, Black Veiled Brides or Blood on the Dance Floor, they all have these, incredibly sad stories, and, to a certain degree, I empathize with them. Well, I sympathize with them even, and I wouldn't feel sorry for them in the same way that, they treat people like absolute shit. But, these stories, you could always spot a Black Veiled Brides or Blood on the Dance Floor fan a mile away. And, it always starts out with these kids being, the awkward one in school, the misfits. The guy's always getting picked last for, gym or PE, whatever you want to call it, depending on wherever the fuck you are. Or, the one person, kind of like myself, that never gets invited to any parties. Well, used to. And, who's always left sitting in the cafeteria at lunch alone, like me. But, the one thing that separates me from these people, they always get bullied, and they self-harm. The one thing that separates me from them is I never let all the bad shit in my life. I never let myself use it as a crutch, to get people to feel sorry for me, or get them to say nice things about me. Basically, I don't use my my personal negativity, and it's something everyone should have, is just that tiny little bit of negativity. I'm sure some of you people watching this will be aware of Taoist, Taoism, kind of belief in opposing energies, both negative and positive, always at work in the world, that makes up, the fabric of the universe. You have an imbalance of one, the world is going to be thrown out of, your balance of negative and positive furies are going to be, or well, maybe this isn't Taoism, but maybe I've definitely watched too many cheesy 1980s kung fu movies. But you need that balance in your life. Those guys, they just seem to take it too far. And you see, which it then brings me to the conclusion that these people, despite how much they insist on being, we're so hardcore, we're so alternative, and so edgy. We treat people like shit for having opinions. That automatically makes us cool. Well, I'm sorry to say this, Black Veiled Brides fans and Blood and Dance Floor fans, it really, really does not make you that unique. What I think it boils down to is conformity. And a guy I really worship, his philosophy and his general outlook on life. I know some people might think I'm mentally fucking ill to actually worship G.G. Allen because of the way he changed my outlook in life. But you know what? You guys worship Davi and Jay, so don't judge me about that. You know, like, personally, I'm of an opinion that your beliefs are your beliefs, you know, there's nobody can take that away from you. But I mean, why? You know, and it always gets me. You know, it always gets me. You people blindly follow these guys as if they were some religious cult leaders. I mean, you more than likely see the police reports about Davi. You've heard the rumors about what he did to Jesse Slaughter. I mean, why? I mean, why follow a guy like that? I've seen videos of his live performance, if you could call it that. He treats you people appallingly bad. I mean, you guys pay his wages, like, you know, you put him in these houses, you pay the money for him to go out and buy, you know, big houses or whatever, like, you know, and he still treats you like shit. I mean, put it to you this way, if Iron Maiden did that to their fans, do you think they would have gotten where they were? You know, do you think that Iron Maiden would have lasted the last fucking almost 42 years now at this stage? Where, if you know, where they were the blood on the dance floor of their time, you know, by treating their great fans, you know, and I'm proud to be an Iron Maiden fan. Do you think they would have gotten anywhere if they treated their fans like shit? No, they wouldn't. And you know, I predict that Blood on the Dance Floor, you know, they've been around a while. I'll give them that. Like, you know, I predict they won't last, you know, another year. The way they carry on, you know, and the way the whole internet, you know, like, it's 50% of the entire internet against you guys, and 50% of, you know, the other 50% of the internet against the original 50%, you know, that I'm a part of. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, G.G. Allen once said, "Conformity and comfort are my enemies." And I'll just throw on a little extra onto that. You see the world through, you see, you know, this jaded perspective of things, and I feel sorry for you. I mean, I was never one to blindly seek acceptance. I was never one that had an easy childhood. You know, like, much like yourself. I mean, you know, I'm not going to shit all over you for having a hard childhood, but, you know, I think there are other ways about going around having an opinion. And attacking other people for having a difference of opinion, you know, I don't think that is the right way about going about things at all. I'll put it into perspective for you, alright? I'm 22 now. 10 years ago, even further back if you want, like, I would never, in my wildest dreams, and I mean, like, this isn't only because my house didn't have the internet until about 2008. I know, I'm such a caveman, right? I would never, in my wildest dreams, have walked up to a stranger with, you know, like, whose opinion was different to mine, and told him to go eat shit and die. You know, I don't like you people, but, you know, I hope to God you actually look at this video and just learn from it. I'm not being a hater. I'm not supporting you either. I'm in the middle here. So, you know, please reach out, you know. You know, like, I want to try and help some of you guys. Those that can be helped, or those that want help. I mean, I'll put it to you this way, right? I know my dad, but he's never been around for me. You know, in the last... Well, actually, scratch that. For most of my life, my dad has always either been working, playing five-a-side soccer, or golfing. He's got married now. He's with a woman for the last almost 3 years now. But he would rather be a father to her kids who she had with another man than myself and my 2 sisters. And it just, it's painful. But I've kind of accepted that, And I don't know where I'm going with this. Oh yeah, my mother. Herself and her family have been just so unbelievably great to me. I mean, they could have just, thrown their hands up and said to themselves, Peter, I'm a lost cause, but they didn't, they've been very good to me, and I love that. I mean, and if you can't get what I've, what you can't get that kind of response from your family, I do feel sorry for you. And not to have that one person who would always be there in the morning, either making breakfast, eating it, having a cup of coffee, when you come down, getting ready for your day, and you're saying, and they just look up to you with a big smile on their face, and for them then to say, how are you? And, it's just the best feeling ever. And I'm probably waffling here, and I don't care, because I feel so strongly about, having that kind of positive role model in my life. And I think, if you had it as well in your family, and not Davi or Jay or any of those guys, because I don't think they're that great, but again, that's my own opinion, and I hope you'll be mature enough to actually respect my opinion for what it is, an opinion, neither fact nor fiction. It's an opinion, and everyone's opinions are different, guys. So one thing you have to remember. And I really do hope that, by saying this, I reach out to somebody, at least one person. I'm not a bad person, I've been manipulated by society into becoming a bad person. If it manifests on my Facebook page or in real life, on the internet or wherever, I am a good person. I see the best in humanity. I can see the best in it right now. I've pretty much, in the last 1.5 to 2 years, given up all faith in humanity. I want at least one person who listens to Blood on the Dance Floor, Black Veil Brides, to come across this video and, be inspired by it, not to be inspired to, start worshipping me like you already do, Davi and Jay, but, to be inspired, to interact with your family, to put your demons away, I'd say, if anything I'm trying to get across is that, because you're never alone. You have people in your homes, your communities. I mean, I'm not trying to be this goody who puts a lot of faith in people. I don't have a lot of faith in people, but I know the power of having a good family who will always be there for you. And if anything, that is more important than having all the the best friends in the world. And even if you didn't have any friends, as long as you have your family, you have something. And I think it would be great if if you want to talk to me, if you want to message me or subscribe to me, start a kind of conversation with me, I'll always be here to listen. I've gone through a lot. Like I said, I'm only 22, but I've experienced a lot more than anyone my own age has, give or take. So that's it. That's it. I mean, that's all I can say. Like I said, I recorded a similar video to this about half an hour ago. My internet went, and the recording got cancelled. So that's all for me, guys. Like I said, you know, if you want to talk, you know, just hit the old subscribe button, follow me, you know, add me on Facebook, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care, it's up to you. Have some free will, you know, there's still hope for you guys. I'm out.